It's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. Shh. I'm watching the birds. You have to be quiet when you watch birds because they fly away if you make too much noise. We have a lot of birds to watch in our backyard because of this bird feeder that my wife put up. There's a Baltimore Oriole. Oh, we got chased away. Imagine that, a bird with the same name as a baseball team. Sometimes birds are messy eaters and they drop a lot of seeds on the ground. Other birds come to eat them, and so do the squirrels. These American goldfinches are very beautiful. They come to eat every day at the bird feeder. And so does this little chickadee. And sometimes squirrels try to get into the bird feeder and steal all the seeds from the birds. But look, he's trying to get seeds, but he can't get in. He can't get any bird seeds from the bird feeder. Let's find out why. The squirrels can't get any of the bird seeds because it's a special kind of bird feeder that outside of it moves up and down like this. If something lightweight like a bird lands on these perches, they can stick their beak in here and still get seeds. But if something heavy like a squirrel gets on it, it slides down and closes the doors so they can't get in. It saves the seeds for the birds. Okay, now let's go back and watch some more birds. Here's the downy woodpecker we saw earlier. How do I know the names of the birds? Well, it's pretty easy. We have this pamphlet that shows the pictures and names of all the birds we can see around here. When you open it up, there's a full color picture and the name of the bird underneath it. In the back, we see most of the birds that we've seen today. This very red bird is called a cardinal. And there's his picture inside the pamphlet. These red-headed birds are called house wrens. And here's a vesper sparrow on the ground outside. There's lots of different kinds of sparrows. The vesper sparrow, the chirping sparrow, the white-throated sparrow, the field sparrow, and the house sparrow. We see all of these in our backyard. There's a house sparrow now. And here's a white-throated sparrow. This really pretty bluebird is an indigo bunting. We saw him once, but I didn't get a picture. Woodpeckers are really interesting. We have 3 kinds in our backyard. This downy woodpecker, the red-bellied woodpecker, and the one we don't see very often, the red-headed woodpecker. This downy woodpecker pecked a hole in our tree last year. There it is. He made it so big and so deep he could get inside and used it as a nest. Here's the red-bellied woodpecker enjoying a meal. And here's that unusual red-headed woodpecker eating with a starling. So you can see lots of different birds, and I want to show you some things you can make to attract birds to your backyard. But first, let's go see our special guest today. So our special guest today in the basement is someone who needs no introduction, but since we're talking about birds today, I wanted to bring in the biggest bird of all. Everybody say hello to Big Bird. Say hi to everybody, Big Bird. Nice to have you here, Big Bird. I just wanted to ask you a question about what it's like to have been a star on TV for such a long time.
Touch your feet.
Okay, I'll touch my feet. There's one. There's the other one. But I really, I want to have a kind of a conversation with you, Big Bird. I was wondering if we could just maybe talk a little bit about what it's like to be on television and be such an inspiration to all the kids.
Wiggle my nose.
Okay. Well, that's about all the time we have for our special guest. So say goodbye to everybody, Big Bird.
Hi.
Can't, no, just cut it. So my Big Bird is really a toy and he doesn't actually talk. But some birds do really talk. And I have one right here in my house. This is Bogart. Bogart sometimes will call our names or tell us when it's time to go to work. And here are a few of the things that Bogart says.
Lonnie? To go to work. Go upstairs.
So let's get started with some projects that you can make at home to attract birds so you can watch them. This is a cardboard tube from an empty roll of toilet paper and some peanut butter. Take the peanut butter and spread it all over the outside of the tube. It's a little messy, so make sure you put some newspaper down. Then spread some bird seed all over the newspaper and get ready to roll the peanut butter into the bird seed so it sticks all over. Cut off some string, or in this case I used yarn. Put it through the tube and then tie it up in the top so you can hang it. This is a pine cone. It's another good thing to use. It's best to tie the string on the pine cone first before you put the peanut butter on it. After you roll it in the seeds the same way, it's ready to hang up. I put this one outside on a hook, and within a few minutes, swinging in the wind, a little bird came and landed on it and started eating. My toilet paper tube wasn't quite so successful. After hanging up, it swang a lot in the wind and the birds wouldn't land on it. But guess who got it? The squirrel came and ate all the seeds and peanut butter off of it. Look how fat he got. These are the things you'll need to make another kind of bird feeder. A couple of plastic bottles, a chopstick, some rocks to weight it down, and some bird seed. You'll also need some string. First, draw some big holes on the side of the bottle, big enough for the bird to either get in or stick their head in. Then have your grown-up cut out those circles. It's a little hard and you have to use some pretty sharp scissors sometimes to get... There we go. I'm going to cut another hole out on the other side of my bottle so the birds can get in two different ways. Then I drilled some little holes underneath the windows that I cut in the bottle, and I'm going to shove the chopstick right through those two holes to make a perch. Take the lid off, and I put a little hole in the top of there so I could put some string through it, and then tie it off inside so it holds steady. Put the cap on, and with the rocks in it to weight it down, it's ready to hang up. All you got to do is fill it with some bird seed, either through the windows, or if that's too messy, you can fill them in through the top and put the cap back on with the string. I want to hang this really high to get it away from where the squirrels can get it, so I'm going to use this pole saw to hang it way out on a branch up in the tree so it hangs down in the air where the squirrels can't get to it like that. They'll never be able to climb up this string. Birds also like bird baths. I'm going to make one out of this plastic lid from a 5-gallon bucket. You can use any kind of a shallow dish. Just put some bricks down where it's flat. Or if it's in the dirt, you might have to dig around and make the bricks flat. I'm going to use this tool called a level to make sure mine are straight. The level has a little bubble in it that'll show you when everything's just right. Once it's level, just fill it up with water. And then just sit back and wait. At first, the birds might come and look around it, walking and being curious. But just remember, if you build it, they will come. Oh, look over there. There's that blue bunting I wanted to get a picture of. Very pretty bird with really blue feathers. And look over at the bird bath. Even squirrels like to come get a drink. Well, that's all I have for today, but before I go, I want to mention some of the great mail I've been getting from the kids who are out making their own instruments. Brody, you made a great use of a cereal box in making that guitar. It looked great. And Addie, I really liked the big sound hole you made in your paper plate guitar. The Robakowski family, I'd like to mention, they made several musical instruments. And Asher, I hope that guitar sounds as good as it looks. Keep sending in photos and comments through your teachers or the district email, and let me know if I can show the pictures here, and I will do that next time. All right, goodbye. Okay, cue music.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet.